Hey, before we get into today's episode, if you're a podcast host or guest, listen up. I've produced over 200 podcast episodes and guested on 50 podcasts just in 2025 alone. And let me tell you, nothing grows your audience or builds trust faster than being in front of the right listeners. That's why I created my podcast tour offer. I'll help you map out your topics, strategize your message, and find you the most aligned podcasts and audiences to get you and your business in front of. So if you've ever thought, I just wish more eyes were on my work, this is your sign. Let's get you on a podcast tour. You can find all the details in the show notes. Just look for podcast tour. Now let's dive into today's episode. All right, I'm back with a solo episode for you. This one all about how you've been guesting on podcasts without speaking topics and it's costing you, but here's how you can fix it. This episode idea came up a couple weeks ago. I had got done recording with a guest for my own show, and immediately after they booked my podcast tour offer, immediately signed up, because having gone through the episode with me and realizing that they were spending their time guesting on podcasts already anyways, they wanted to get more strategic. They wanted to really make this be a thing where they can be marketing their business through this avenue versus the social media grind, versus hoping the algorithm catches the reel they just made. That type of thing that they were sick of feeling like the best kept secret, like their business was a secret and not finding the right eyes on their offers. So this is not rare. This is almost everyone I've sent on tours in the last 2 months has commented on this, that either one, they've never even thought about having a speaking topic, or there's some other mindset pieces, which I'm going to walk you through, that they had a great time, but they could feel like something wasn't adding up. They weren't seeing results. Results meaning like they weren't getting new leads, new clients, not even new followers. When you leave it up to the host to figure out which niche you are within this broad topic of what you do, you're really kind of wasting your time. And a little bit of theirs, because you still probably have a lot of great things to say and answer on their podcast. So you're going to have a good interview. It's going to feel fun. It's going to feel great, but you don't get a chance to talk about your specific area of expertise, which is where your offers lie. And so then that missing piece, that consistency there, is going to be confusing to an audience, and you're not going to see referrals. You're not going to see the new leads and the people downloading your lead magnet and all those great things. So the first shift in the mindset to talk about is, I don't know what I would talk about. So a lot of times if you're letting the host decide fully of what you're going to talk about without sort of being in that loop, you might think that, well, if I had to choose, like, I don't know what it would be. Like, I don't know what topic I would have. That's the thing that I pull out for my clients within the podcast tour, is that strategy. And it is what you will talk about. What can happen here if you fall into this trap, this mindset trap, is that you get on the show and now you've discussed lots of great things, given value to the show. But then people come over to your Instagram or wherever, and it doesn't match. What you do is not what you talked about. And so that's immediately going to lose people from taking action. And you absolutely know what you could talk about. I just need to pull it out of you and lay it out. Sometimes you're way too close to your business. Same goes for me. That's why I have a coach right now. It's so much easier for them to see it than for you often. Another one is, can't the host just ask me questions? Well, they can, but you're leaving your best visibility moment up to chance. Speaking topics are how you walk into that room, right? Their audience with authority instead of just availability, right? You don't want to just be the person that was available to be on the show. You are the authority showing up to discuss your expertise, and your expertise lies in what you do in your offers for other people. The third one is, I don't want to seem rigid or salesy. So reframing this into like, pitching topics are not limiting. They're actually a gift to the host. You're making the host job easier. And I am a host. I can say this. I can speak for me. Hosts don't want to have to dig for what you're good at. Like, if you lead with, like, you do copywriting, that's a huge umbrella. And as a host, I would love to know, are you in the email part of this? Do you stick with website building? Do you blog? What part of this is your expertise? Because I guarantee there's a specific spot, and that's where your offer lies as well. And that's what I want to dive into on my podcast, because it's going to make for a great episode. Then for your sake, you've just become an authority in that piece. And that's how that specific thing is you. And when you stick to that, that's when you get done with the episode, and that host is going to remember you. So when they get asked, do you know someone who does X, Y, and Z? You're going to be top of mind. But you're not when you talk about all these other things, or if you talk about something that's not even within your offer. So great, someone reaches out to you from that host referral, but it's not even within your offer suite. So then what? right? That kind of just stops there. That momentum doesn't lift you up. So it's not being rigid. It's not being salesy to give some thought to this. It's being strategic and making sure it's a good use of your time and efficient. Okay, so then switching into the next part of the episode, this next strategy piece is your method. This is your actual tips, and this can help you figure out what are your speaking topics. So you can start with what you've already said. Look at past guest appearances that you've done, or your own podcast episodes, or the most asked questions that you get in the DMs. There's already topics there. You just haven't named them yet. And then make it a transformation, not necessarily a topic. So like copywriting I gave for an example. Let's use social media. That's not a speaking topic. How to get off of Instagram and book more clients, that is a speaking topic. The listener has to be able to picture, what am I going to walk away from this episode with if I spend my time listening? And the host, when you present this topic to them, it's going to be a lot easier for them to say yes, because it's a lot easier for them to see what the value is that you're going to bring because of how you've positioned this speaking topic, which is exactly what I do for my podcast tour clients. Is I come up with their speaking topics and I write them like this for them. You need like 3 speaking topics, not 10. It's not like a menu. It's a highlight reel. Give them enough information, give them enough choices of topics to see your range, but without overwhelming them. Too many choices leaves people to not act, and you don't want that. Also, this is key here. Each topic should come back and connect with your offer. This is not in a gross way. This is in a I solve this problem way. So if none of your topics lead someone toward wanting to work with you, these are the wrong speaking topics. Let me say that again. If none of your topics lead someone toward working with you, then these are the wrong topics. So this is not using the podcast tour, using guesting as a strategic way to market and grow your business. Which, if you're still listening to this, I can assume that that is your goal with guest speaking on podcasts, especially if you've already been doing them. Let's use that time to get the biggest bang for your buck. Again, it's not a sleazy, gross thing. This is, I solve a problem and I'm here to serve whoever wants help with this problem. Also, I'm offering value in what I'm sharing and what you're sharing on the episode that you guest on, which people that want to DIY can take it and run with it. That's awesome. But there's also people out there that don't want to DIY and they are looking for you. They want to pay you. Let them pay you. But first they need to be able to find you. And that's exactly why you need a podcast tour. You can also test these things out loud. Can you talk about your topic for 30 to 60 minutes without pulling up notes? Then that's a real speaking topic. And if you're like, well, that sounds so long, it's really not. And trust that the host also wants you to succeed. So they're going to be asking you questions. They're going to keep you engaged. They're not just let you sit there with dead air. But if you could talk about this without even thinking, because it's what you offer, it's what you're in and immersed in every day. So trust me, you're going to be able to talk about it, and you get better and better the more times you talk about it. But that's a real speaking topic. You can keep guesting without speaking topics and hope it works out, or you can grab my podcast tour and I'll build the whole thing for you. Topics, podcasts, pitch, all of it. The link is in the show notes. Take this and run with this and make this your most momentum building summer yet, because episodes that you record right now are going to air in the next 2 months. And that's going to keep you visible and that's going to keep your momentum up. All right, see you next week. Hey, before you go, if you've ever wished podcast guesting or hosting felt a little easier, you're going to love this. I started a free podcast matchmaking community where hosts and guests can actually connect, swap shows, and find aligned conversations without all the cold pitching and chaos. It's totally free, it's super fun, and it's growing every day. So whether you're looking to grow your audience, get in front of the right people, or just finally get your message out there, come join us. You can find the link in the show notes to join the community.